think I'm live. Got this thing hanging up. See. So I don't know if you guys can see me okay or not. We just got back from Chicago, or from DC. I mean, we're in Chicago, and we are driving to a yet undetermined location. But anyway, I was sitting here and I was thinking about black people, and I was thinking about, you know, where we are as a community, and I was in all the debates happening about, you know, whether or not, you know, about reparations, do for self, you know, and all these other ideologies that are out here. I think it's a really exciting time to be black, in the sense that I think that we're figuring out who we are, you know, and sometimes that leads to some really crazy, chaotic scenarios. But I think ultimately, if we play it right, the good can outweigh the bad. Anyway, shout out your city. Let me know what city you're coming from. What's going on, Barbara? How are you? And hello, Michael and Mark. It says it's reconnecting. Shit. Oh, I didn't lose my signal. I hope you guys can see me. If it goes out, just stay right there. It'll usually come right back. So let me see. I see Vegas from Black and Ashy. Black and Ashy is funny. From Vegas and Philadelphia, and Rod from NYC. Hello, Rod. Michael from Fort Worth. I see Philly in the house from Fatima. Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Washington, D.C. Anthony, Washington. Kelvin from Lacey, Washington. By the way, so if it goes out for a second, just stay right there. It'll come right back, because it's just the Wi-Fi thing. I'm in the car. But anyway, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button and the notification bell. That really helps more people come into the live. You know, because we got, you know, we're black and intelligent, which puts us in the minority, which means that we got to get all the good black people we can find, because I'm trying to pull together an army of intelligence. And you know, with the reparations debate and everything else, and I like to keep things really simple. I like to try to see if this has been on my mind. I sat with Dr. Claude Anderson for 5 hours last night, and the whole time we talked about black people. Did we not, babe? Did he not, though, for 5 hours?
Our love for black people.
Yes, and he laid out history and solutions and challenges, and told stories, really good stories about things that he tried to do in different cities, and why they didn't work out, and political things that have happened, and it was great. You know, I felt like I was getting schooled on, kind of brought up to speed in terms of where we are as a community, so that we can move forward. And one of the things that I really thought about, and I realized this last night, and I see this on my Twitter. My Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1, the number 1 at the end. You know, I said, you know, he said, here's what Dr. Anderson said that got me thinking on this. I'm gonna tell you what he said, then I'm gonna tell you what I thought. He said, instead of trying to integrate with white folks, black people need to integrate with black folks. He said, instead of integrating with everybody else, you need to first integrate with each other, because right now you're spread out all over the place. And give me a yes or no if you get what I'm saying, if you understand what I'm saying. You know, basically, and we thought about that, and I said, you're right. You know, and George Fraser has said this kind of thing before. You know, George Fraser, I bring the OGs in so they can help us understand how to move forward. And George Fraser says that all you need is each other. All you need is each other. So, you know, we need a new integration movement. And in this new integration movement, the integration should be integrating with each other. So we're not separating from white people. We are simply integrating with each other. Now think about this. This is actually an interesting, profound kind of perspective, I think, in terms of how we can look at this. You know, when we integrated with white people, think about this. You were segregating from yourselves. You were segregating from the rest of the world. You were segregating from your culture. You were segregating from your history. You were segregating from who you used to be. You know, you were segregating and tearing apart your families. You were segregating and breaking apart your businesses. You were segregating and breaking apart all the institutions in your community. So really what we thought was integration was actually segregation, or another way to look at it might be colonialization. Right? It was like sort of a corporate takeover. Like, you got occupied. They occupied you. And so we know that this was wrong. We know this did not work. Give me a yes or no. I'm going to make a statement right now, and I want you to give me a yes or no, and let me know if you agree with this statement or not. David Banner made this statement, and this is what I believe. I believe integration was one of, if not the worst thing to ever happen to black people. Give me a yes or no if you agree with that. Do you agree with the statement that integration was one of, if not the worst thing that ever happened to black people? Give me a yes or no. Because I want to try to see, okay, I'm looking at your comments, because your responses. I want to try to see if we're on the same page here. Like, because I couldn't have made that statement a decade ago without getting a lot of resistance. So what I would argue is this, and this goes back to my core point. You know, I put it in the title that if we love Popeyes chicken, if we loved ourselves as much as we love Popeyes chicken and the Black Panther, we would have no financial problems. And let me explain. So what we really need in our community is this, and this is about ideas. This is about solutions. You know, I'm not here to just complain about white people. That was something that white people trained you to do. They trained you to complain about them because you believe that if they don't change their behavior, you will have no opportunities. They trained you to complain about them because they want you to make them into your Jesus. They want you to see them as your economic Jesus. Why do I say that? Well, think about it. If you go to church, what do they tell you? They say the only way to God is through who? The only way to God is through what? What do Christians say about getting to God? You must go through Jesus. This is not anti-Christian. My daddy's a pastor. Some of y'all in here are Christian. It's all good. I do not care what your religion is. I do not care. That's secondary. But do you know, when you go to church, they tell you the only way to get to God is through Jesus. So when the white man positions you to believe that the only and most secure pathway for your economic opportunity, possibility, and liberation is through adequate integration and all these other watered down terms like equality and inclusion and all that other bullshit that they invented, then basically he's saying your only pathway to power or opportunity is through me. So he's positioned himself as your economic and political and socio-political guide. He has positioned himself as your God. And so it's not a coincidence that when you go to church and you see the white Jesus, you're also going to your job and you're seeing another white Jesus. You turn on TV and you see another white Jesus on TV. You send your children to a white man's public school and he sees another white Jesus. It just might be, she might be female, but you see a white Jesus at school. Why? Well, because you are trained to believe that the only pathway to power in this world is through him. So he's positioned himself to be your economic God, to be your economic Jesus, your political Jesus, your social Jesus, etc. That's why even the most empowered amongst us as black people, many of the most empowered amongst us as black people, our leaders and people that supposedly represent us, when they represent us and they say, follow me, in many cases, they are simply leading you to opportunities provided to them by their Jesus. You know, they for example, you know, black people come to your church and they say, hey, y'all, we got to rock the vote, y'all. We need souls to the polls, y'all. Everybody show up and vote for the Democrats. What? Okay, wait, so I got to vote. Now I'm voting for Hillary. That's the answer. That's the answer to my prayers. Oh, that's my Jesus. That's my political Jesus. You know, I mean, you know, think about this. Think about how often the Democratic Party will put all these candidates out there and most of those candidates will be white. But that's supposed to be your pathway to liberation. So basically, they position themselves to become your white Jesus. We know Jesus was black, but I don't, honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. There's a lot of theory out there to say Jesus might not have even existed. So let's just keep that 100 on that. I'm not, if you believe that, if you got your Jesus, I'm not here to take your Jesus away. Lord knows that the last thing I want to do is take your Jesus away from you. So do not think I'm taking your Jesus away, but I'm just telling you, go do the research. There's some people out there that actually have valid arguments to say, okay, where's Jesus at? Where's the proof? Where's the, you know, he died at, he pops up again at 32 after disappearing for 20 years straight. Like what? You know, so I'm not saying he's not real. I'm just saying, come on, it's debatable. Okay, let's just say that. So here's the thing. I believe, back to my core point here, I believe that for black people, this movement should not and cannot be defined as segregation. You're giving the white man too much credit to let him or anybody else believe that your sole purpose in life is to get away from him. Your life is not defined by whether or not you're next to him or away from him. He does not have to be a variable in your equation for greatness. Other communities do not have to be a variable in your equation for economic security and economic power or political power. They don't really have to be variables in your equation. I think that we need to do integration. So when somebody says, are you a segregationist? I'll be like, no, I'm an integrationist. They won't know what I mean, because when I talk about integration, I'm talking about black people integrating with each other. I'm talking about folding yourself back into the core where your strength is at and building the strongest community this world has ever known. That to me is integration. Think about this. Imagine if tomorrow, if we integrated and had all of our children going to black schools and we're putting our dollar bills into building black schools. We could have 1,000 black schools in a year, right? Imagine if we integrated and folded our dollar bills back into black businesses and we're just dumping, that 1.3 trillion or at least half of it into black businesses. We would have thousands of black millionaires generated every single year, right? Imagine if we were integrating with ourselves and we're supporting black media, then we could have film premieres that are bigger than anything Hollywood's ever seen. There's more of us than there are Jewish people in this country. So if the Jews can build Hollywood, then we can build something so much bigger, so much better, right? So my point to you is to say that, we don't need to segregate from anything. Maybe we can segregate from ignorance. Maybe we can segregate from some of the coonery out here. Maybe we can segregate from the negativity. Maybe we can segregate from some of these crazy Negro naysayers who keep telling you that you have no power. But at the end of the day, you need integration. You need to integrate with yourselves and integrate with each other. If you do that, then you will win. If you do that, then you will be empowered. If you do that, then black people can't lose. Because here's the thing, right? By the way, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. And also I should remind you guys that we have some seminars coming up on estate planning and stuff like that in the Black Business School. To get notifications about that, just make sure you sign up at theblackbusinessschool.com, theblackbusinessschool.com. We have about 82,000 students. And also the other thing is, this is a small goal, a small solution goal that I want for this platform, for this community, is I want to get to the point where 80 to 90% of the people who watch my podcast have bought at least a few shares of stock for themselves and their children. It's easy to do, very straightforward. Just go sign up for one of the apps, Acorn, Stash, or Robinhood, and buy you at least $5 worth of stock. So you can make that fence, jump that fence, and become a stock market investor. And then I'll help you with the rest. But just get started. Do that. If we accomplish that right there would add an extra several trillion to black wealth in one generation. I know this. I'm a financial scientist. I know the mathematics behind this. This is 100% fundamentally true. Just do it. Just please trust me on this. Just do it. So anyway, normally, you guys know I don't tell you what to do usually, but in this area, I'm telling you, go invest in something. The people that build wealth in this country are investors, and definitely invest in each other. But anyway, so let's think about this, right? I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that if black people supported black businesses as much as we support Popeyes chicken, do you think that would be a big win for our community? Do you think that if we love black businesses as much as we love Popeyes chicken, do you think that would be a big multi-billion-dollar win for the black community? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Let me know if you're feeling and understanding what I'm saying here. Have you seen Popeyes Chicken's revenues? Do you know the Popeyes Chicken, their revenues have jumped about 30% in the last 3-4 years. They were making $3 billion a year 3-4 years ago. They're making almost $4 billion a year now. And y'all know that we provide a substantial percentage of Popeyes chicken revenue. And don't get me wrong, you got plenty of white folks that eat Popeyes chicken too. But you know that when you see all this chaos right now with Popeyes chicken, people getting shot over a piece of chicken, stabbed and beat up in the parking lot and all this other, a lot of times black people are involved. It does not make us trifling. It does not mean all of us are those kinds of people. It doesn't mean that we behave that way on a regular basis, but it does mean that we love some damn Popeyes chicken. You know, the stereotype of the black man eating chicken it did not come out of thin air. There is a belief and a view that we just love chicken, and it's okay. I love chicken. Chinese people love chicken too, by the way. I go to China, they have tons of chicken everywhere. So don't think that eating chicken is a bad thing, but killing a motherfucker over a piece of chicken, that makes you crazy, right? Beating somebody up because they cut in line for you, in front of you to get a piece of chicken, that means you need help. If you are standing in line for an hour and a half just to try a chicken sandwich and you're already 100 pounds overweight, then that means you have, not only are you stupid, but you got a damn death wish. And really, you're kind of like a crack addict at that point, right? So I'm just going to be keeping 100 on that. But at the same time, it does not mean that we can't be patient with those who refuse to even hear a message that's different from what they're hearing from everybody else. They're addicted to the white Jesus, and that's why they go in that direction. But what I'm talking to are the people that want to do better. You don't have to do better right away. I just need you to want to do better, and I need you to commit to doing better. And so I want to ask you another question. When Disney puts out the next Black Panther movie, they're gonna rake in about $1 billion from the black community. Do you think that if we supported black movies, black films, and black businesses the same way we support Disney, do you think that would make a difference in the black community? Just put a yes or no in the chat so you can understand what I'm saying. Do you think that would matter? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Stay there in the chat. I want to ask you this. So let's add up all the things black people love. All right, so I want you to help me with this. Let's lay out a list of all the things that we spend our money on, and where we're letting to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars a year. Give me a list. Okay, so I'm thinking we got Popeyes chicken, we got Disney movies, we got Gucci belts and shit, Gucci, Louis, all that stuff. We got liquor, like at the club, going to the club. Okay, let's see. I see Nish says clothes. Larry says cars, shoes, Jordans. Yes, Jordans, absolutely Jordans. Let's see here. Cell phones, NFL, jewelry, weave, cell phones, and cars. Yeah, the weaves they get sold us by the Asian community, right? Okay, so let's add up all those things. Let's add up the weaves. Let's add up, the liquor. Let's add up the cars. Let's add up the clothes. Let's add up the NFL. Let's add up the Swisher Sweets. Let's add up. Somebody said these nuts. That's hilarious. Let's add up the Popeye chicken. Let's add up, the Disney movies. Right? Let's just add all that up. And so when you add all that up, what you're going to add up to is about at least almost $1 trillion a year, like about $1 trillion a year, hundreds of billions of dollars every year, where you're writing checks to other people to do all these amazing things, all these interesting things, right? So let's say I gave you a choice, right? Let's say I gave you a choice. You get one or two things happen. I can magically make it happen, snap my fingers. Let's say you got one. Your choice, option one is this. I'm gonna go up to Capitol Hill and I'm gonna talk to the Democratic Party. These are the same racist motherfuckers who've been oppressing you since God knows when. Same ones who put all your damn daddies in prison. Same ones who put Barack Obama in prison, had him doing more stuff for gay people than doing for you. Same people that have pretty much ignored you forever. But I'm gonna go to these Democrats and I'm gonna get a reparations bill and I'm gonna get that shit through Congress. The Republicans are gonna have to support it, so we're gonna have to water it down a little bit. We know you're owed 15 trillion, but we can get you about half a trillion, maybe 200 or 300 billion. We'll get you maybe some tax breaks, and maybe not tax free, but maybe some tax breaks, because we can have Negroes living in this country tax free. We'll let some of you go to college for free, give you a few scholarships. So that's your package, right? Your reparations package, an historic $300 billion reparations package. Let's make it $500 billion reparations package that isn't all cash. You ain't getting no check, but you are going to get a discount on college tuition. You're going to get a discount on your taxes. You're going to get some maybe some stuff done in your neighborhood. Some little businesses will come in your neighborhood. Things like that, right? That's option one. Let's say option two is this. You have no reparations package at all, right? Let's say white people continue to be white and they continue to do what they've always done, which is to act like you don't deserve reparations, like they don't even hear you when you talk about it. But instead, because I'm a genie, like Will Smith was in the movie Aladdin, I can snap my fingers, and what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to create the most extraordinary integration plan that you've ever seen. I'm going to get every black person in America to wake up tomorrow, and they're going to want to love and support black businesses as much as they want to go see Disney movies, as much as they want Gucci belts, As much as they want Popeyes chicken, they will love black businesses more than they love Popeyes chicken. They will love education more than they love ignorance. They will love supporting each other more than they love supporting the white man. That supporting the white man will be a last priority as opposed to the top priority in every single day of their life. So you're going to see about $800 billion a year flowing from all these so-called poor black people, right? So instead of going to the Asian nail shops, they're gonna find a black nail shop. Instead of going to buy an Asian hair weave, they're gonna buy a black hair weave. Instead of going to the Mexicans to get certain things, they're gonna come to you. Instead of going to the Jews to get record deals, they're gonna do record deals with black companies, right? Everything black is gonna stay black, and all the black money is gonna circulate in your community. So you're not gonna just get the 800 billion, but you're gonna circulate the 800 billion about 5 times, because black people tomorrow, because I snap my fingers, are going to have literally an allergic reaction. They're literally almost like hypnotized to the point where just the thought of letting go of a black dollar is gonna make them sick. Which option do you think would have the greatest impact on black wealth in the next generation? Option 1, the reparations package that I described, where white people write you a check for about 300 billion, or let's say half a trillion. Or option 2, where you love yourself as much as you love everybody else, where you support yourselves as much as you support everybody else, where you spend as much in your own community as you're spending outside your community. Which of those options do you think would lead to the greatest transformation in black wealth? Option 1, the white man's check, or option 2, the black man's check? I say, just like in every other category in life, the black man's thing is bigger, right? Just like in every other category of life, black people do it better. I will say that really, when you talk about reparation, you talk about healing the community. I believe that the healing that will come from other communities will only be a fraction as effective as the healing that can come from yourself. So my point is that at the end of the day, this seed from this concept came from Dr. Anderson. I got to give respect to this brother for the conversation we had. That word integrating with yourselves, that integration process that I just described to you, is what spurred all these thoughts that I'm sharing with you. What you got to do is you got to commit yourself to integrating with each other. All the things that we love, you can keep loving those things. If you love Popeyes, shit, I'm not going to judge you for loving Popeyes. If you love Jordans, shit, I know the people that run the Jordan brand company. They're cool brothers. I have no problem with these brothers, right? If you love Black Panther movies, then I'll probably be at the movie with you. So I'm not saying don't love other things. I'm saying just make sure you love yourself as much as you love everybody else. If you do that, then you win. If you do that, you ain't got to wait for a white man's permission to make it happen. Your liberation ain't going to come through the white Jesus I described to you. They are not your Jesus. All pathways to black empowerment do not have to go through white people. And that's one of the things that I just stand by on this. I just don't think, I know, not that I think, I know. We don't need a fucking permission slip to be powerful. So stop waiting on that. Stop waiting on these politicians. Stop waiting on your boss's permission. Stop complaining about. Every time you spend all your time complaining about what they ain't doing, you're not spending time thinking about all the things you could be doing. Be empowered. That's what it means to be empowered. All right. So hit the thumbs up button, guys. Hit the share button. Hit the subscribe button. I'm about to go because we're here. And also, just a reminder to you guys, if you want to check out the Black Business School, go check it out, man. Like, we built something amazing for you. I know you're going to love it. Every program that we have doesn't cost that much, but also it has a money back guarantee. And it's an institution built for you, by you. And our number one problem that we solve beyond any other problem is the black wealth equation. That is the only thing that matters to us. Nothing else matters. So feel free to check it out. I think you're gonna love it. theblackbusinessschool.com, THE. And our children's program is at blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. So if you got children, we can educate your kids. Again, there's a 30-day 100% money back guarantee if you're unhappy for any reason. But when your child goes through that program, it will transform them. And also, when they get that degree they can put on their wall, it will change how your child sees wealth, and it will put them so far ahead of the other kids. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you for your donation, Miss. Let me see, is that K? Dr. Boyce, I need Mr. Nice. She emailed address. I live in Atlanta. They want to charge me. Send a message. Okay. I don't know what that means, Kay. I'm sorry. Email my manager at boycewatkins.com. That's manager at boycewatkins.com. Just send her a message and let her know what your issue is. All right. So talk to you guys later. Have a great day. I love you guys. See you soon. Peace.